Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Refounding Fathers. I'm Levi. I'm joined here with Ryan, and warm welcome to our FBI agent. Today, we're going to talk about the news, as we always do, and just random crap. First thing on the docket is British Narwhale-Toting guy. So, a recent ex-convict, I guess? He basically, he got released from a British jail and then went to London Bridge and just started stabbing people. So, in good old drunken Brit fashion, a guy heard or saw a commotion, grabbed a decorative narwhal tusk off of the bar wall, and just charged the dude. And held him down with a narwhal tusk for 10 minutes until armed police arrived, which I guess police in Britain have to actually announce that they're armed police and not just police, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, so that was an interesting one. If, kind of a funny piece, if you're a bad guy doing bad things and you hear police, dude, go to town.
They can't stop you.
They basically just told you, hey, I have this stick I can beat you with, and that's it. But if you hear armed police, now you know to be ready for gunfire, right? That's an interesting.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah.
Props to Britain's gun laws.
Narwhal-Toting guy.
OG.
Dude, I mean, you're not in a good place, but you did everything you could with what you had, and you did awesome with what you had. So, props to you. But
yeah, he had the mindset.
Oh yeah, that's not all you need, but that's the most important part.
Yeah.
What you need is the mindset. So
he was like, right, I'm gonna me old Norway tusk and go stab me a terrorist,
and then hold him to the floor with it
until armed police arrived, and I think they showed up and he kept resisting, so they shot him.
Which, I guess...
The terrorist, not the Narwhale-Toting guy.
That's what you do when some guy with a knife... Or maybe stabbing people. I can't say he didn't deserve to die, but...
I don't know if he died or not. That's the thing.
Oh, well, I can't say
he
didn't deserve to get shot.
Yeah.
But, dude, a whole fucking task force of police with guns show up, and the only way to subdue this guy is... I mean, especially, with your British fucking mentality at that point... Where oh yeah, guns are bad and blah blah blah, everything is bad.
Which is crazy because
a whole task force can't fucking subdue one guy with a knife without shooting him.
Which is crazy because from what I see, at least what I know, and this may be biased because of media and stuff like that, British people in a day-to-day life seem to be much more right, let's just go to fists. They seem much more violent in their day-to-day activities. Maybe not with weapons, but they seem to be more aggressive to me.
And yeah, verbally confrontational. They're way more... I feel like you can spark the, hey, you fucking cunt, why the hell did you cut me off in traffic? And then the guy gets out of his car and comes approach you kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That's way more, at least... Why are they getting another phone call? That's way more,
It seems to be more prevalent.
In Britain, yeah. I'd expect that there and not here.
Yeah.
Which is... It probably has a lot to do with the culture over there.
Yeah, because,
kind of...
America's, yeah, there's road ragers, but, a big reason why there isn't, just random street fights is because everyone's afraid of getting shot.
Yeah. Which is weird, because, I only can talk from stories that I've been told, but, my dad used to tell me stories all the time of, huge street fights breaking out.
Yeah.
When you had a problem, you'd go fight it out. And, I'm not saying someone wouldn't go to the hospital. Sometimes you beat someone so bad they go to the hospital, which is definitely battery and probably way beyond the idea of what they thought when they were getting into a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But that used to be the way you settled things, and you weren't as afraid of dying in the process.
Right.
For some reason, nowadays, violent conflict, which isn't always a bad thing, sometimes that's how you gotta settle things.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's it's a death sentence.
Yeah.
At least
like,
here in America.
If you fight in school, it doesn't matter who the aggressor is. You're both getting at least suspended.
Yeah.
If you get in a street fight, at least in Georgia, you're both getting arrested.
You're probably getting shot or stabbed, too.
Even if it's consensual. No, by yeah.
Well, I mean, in the fight.
Oh.
Because, people can't just... I don't know. I think that's an important piece that we're all missing out on, and that I think our generation has missed out on a lot. Just looking someone in the eyes and being like, hey, let's go settle this.
Yeah.
Let's go beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Now, it's like someone has to be the higher winner. Someone has to be the guy who realizes he's losing and pull a knife or a gun.
Yep.
I think violent conflict is definitely sometimes a way to solve things, but I think people kind of need to use discretion, and sometimes you just gotta fist fight it out.
Yeah.
And if you didn't win the fist fight, you've got to pick your bloodied self up off the ground and go, you're right, I lost.
Yeah.
We kind of agreed to this sense of doing a thing. We wanted to fight, we fought, and I lost the fight, and I'm not going to pull a gun or knife on you to prove that my dick is bigger. Like
a sense of gentleman honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like not turning around on the fifth step in a duel and shooting the guy in the back.
Yeah.
Have a little honor in it.
Yeah,
I long for the days I've been told about. I'm not sure if I was told accurately about them, at least not all the time. But
you long for the days that have been portrayed to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things that a lot of us missed out on, because we were taught a lot in schools and stuff like that. That
don't fight.
You can't fight. Fighting is the worst way to solve a problem. But sometimes, if two consenting parties are like, yes, we want to fight, as long as you kind of have, rules laid out for the fight and someone doesn't literally beat someone's head into the concrete until they die,
yeah,
I think it's definitely an acceptable way to solve things.
Yeah. As long as there's no, you know when your opponent's done. As long as you don't push past that point, you should be good.
And sometimes it comes down to you need to know when you're done. I mean, we've had fight night kind of things before.
Yeah.
And the most important part is realizing where you can surrender. We're deciding when you've lost, but you're not injured yet. Because, I mean, that's the most important part of fighting if it's on you. If you're losing, you need to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put my pride down and to the side. I lost the fight. I'm not going to keep picking myself up. I mean, unless this is something so ridiculously far-fetched that you have to fight until you die kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You have to realize hey, this guy is tweaking my arm to the point where if I don't tell him to stop, it will break.
Yeah.
You have to say, yep, you're right. I lost. I surrender. Don't break my arm. And then everything should stop. You should be able to stand up, wipe the blood off your face, and shake hands.
Yeah.
Violence is not always the answer. But sometimes it is.
Yeah. People, I hate that mentality, especially in the West, where it's oh yeah, violence is it's either violence is never the answer or violence is the last resort. I don't agree with that.
No, sometimes, I mean...
Violence is the first resort sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's shooting up a school? Nah, violence is the last resort. I'm gonna go talk to him first. No! Shoot him!
I mean, and it is situational. I have seen scenarios where, some guy comes in to rob a place, pulls a gun on someone, and they talk him down, and everything's totally fine.
Which is very...
No bullets are shot, and...
very mature on the good guy side.
And the bad guy side.
Yeah.
You might not be in a good mental state, and something happened, and you think the only way to fix it is this, and you go, and you do the thing to quote-unquote fix it, and you are open enough to be vulnerable...
To dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is important. I totally agree.
Yeah.
But it's a case by case.
Yep.
You have to assess the situation. That's really all it is. It comes down to assessment and proper decision making. But sometimes when two people are let's do this, I think we ought to just let them do it. I think it's stupid that two people consent to go fight out in the parking lot in front of a bar, and there are spectators to make sure that nothing goes too far or whatever.
Yeah. Everyone's
still going to jail.
Yep. Disturbing the peace.
Yeah, that's what they get you on.
Someone needs to define what the peace means. What is the peace?
That's pretty broad.
That's very broad, and it's broad for a reason.
Yeah,
it's broad so they can arrest you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you flicked your cigarette butt into this highway? You're disturbing the peace. What?
Well, so, I smoke cigarettes. So this is a funny thing, because the other day, I was actually kind of afraid. I almost thought I was going to start something. I was walking into the local, not convenience store, but a grocery store, and on the way in, I flicked my cigarette. And, which is a little strange for me. I'm kind of one of those people who put cigarettes in my pocket to throw them away later. You know, save the trees kind of thing. Don't litter and all that stuff. But I flicked my cigarette, and it bounced off one of the little, like, traffic posts that make sure you don't drive in certain areas.
Yeah.
And almost landed on the hood of the car next to me that had 2 very large male adults in the front seat. And they gave me this look like, you pushed your fucking luck, boy.
Oh,
like,
no.
They gave me that look like, oh, if that landed on the hood of my car, I would have beat your ass.
Leave me alone.
There are definitely certain situations where I could have went to jail for disturbing the peace simply because we got into a fight because my intentions might have looked like I tried to flick my cigarette on the hood of their car.
Yeah.
Not that they were in the wrong. If someone flicked a cigarette on the hood of my car, I'd flip my shit.
Yeah. If someone looked at your car the wrong way, you'd beat them.
I'm a little protective.
So yeah, a bunch of ISIS guys surrendered today.
Or I think it might have been a couple days ago.
May have been.
The article I read might have been a little late.
Well, all news, and especially when it comes to like Middle Eastern war stuff, is usually like delayed.
Yeah, it's pretty delayed because they've got to make sure it's been, vetted to not give away
operational security, all that stuff. Yeah, which makes sense.
But supposedly a bunch of ISIS fighters in the Nangarhar province surrendered en masse to what fate I do not know. But I'm a little disappointed. Not that they surrendered, like...
Why are you disappointed?
I'm a little disappointed because I was there, like, not very long ago, and they couldn't have given up while I was there. That would have been so satisfying. It would have made me feel like my time over there was spent doing something well. Like, I would have looked at it and been like, holy cow, we came over here...
I did this
and
myself.
Everyone stopped fighting. But... I can almost say that I saw it coming.
Well,
while we were over there, they made a pretty good effort to not fight us.
Well, yeah.
They were pretty specific to firing at the local national armies and the local civilians because they knew when they messed with us, they got killed.
Yeah.
Like, quickly. They got very quickly killed. So I could kind of see it. They were losing their will to actually fight us. So I'm not saying I'm surprised. I'm just disappointed it didn't happen while I was there. It would have been more satisfying.
Yeah, you'd been like, I made ISIS surrender.
Yeah, like...
You put that in your resume, everyone's like, shut up.
I mean,
Go away.
I'm not saying I can't put it in my resume still. You can be like, 4 months after I got back, ISIS fucking surrendered.
Give me the Nobel Peace Prize.
Please, right now, where is it? I would like the award. Oh.
God, those guys are such assholes.
Oh. Yeah, the fuck they are, dude.
It's like they don't want to fight the big bully, which is the U.S. military in that area. I'm not saying the U.S. military is the bully in that specific situation, but it's like you transfer to a new school, or a new person transfers to your school. He's huge. And he's like, everyone stays in line when this guy's around them. But his little sister's also there. She's like, you know what? I don't want to fight him directly. I'm going to go beat up his little sister. That's what ISIS is doing.
And then he's going to throw rocks at me while I run away.
Yeah. That's what ISIS is doing with civilians over there.
Yeah, I mean... That's actually a pretty decent analogy. Like, we went over there for whatever reason that we went over there. I can't necessarily say I understand all of the politics and everything that's going on, but we go over there, and at least with ISIS, I mean, I have a little bit of respect for the Taliban, because they fight us. Well, not me. Where I was at, we worked hand in hand with the Taliban, so that was kind of weird. To fight ISIS. That was definitely weird.
Yeah.
But, like, the Taliban, they kind of had a little bit of honor. They took care of their own people. They valued their own people. They didn't just bomb random civilians.
Right.
They tried to attack military stuff. It was more genuine war-like for the people fighting the Taliban.
Right.
Whereas when we were working with the Taliban to fight ISIS, which I don't even know how that works out politically. I don't even know if most people know that was happening over there. But ISIS would just be like, yeah, we're going to wake up, we're going to walk to the top of this ridge line and shoot a couple SPG-9s at this village over here.
Which is a recoilless rifle, right?
Yeah, I want to say 80-something millimeter recoilless rifle.
Oof.
So it shoots rockets, well, quote-unquote rockets. Recoilless rifle rounds, which basically are rockets. They're similar.
Right.
And they would shoot from so far away that it's ridiculous. Shooting from like 2,000 meters, it's almost outside of the effective range.
The gun's just pointed straight in the air using gravity. It's like a mortar round.
They were basically using direct fires as indirect. It was kind of crazy. But
yeah, make do what you had, I guess.
They just fucking bomb the shit out of civilians for no reason, and then retreat before America can help support the forces we were there with that were getting the shit shot out of them. So it was just like that. I mean, it's like you were bullying my little sister, and then when I showed up and started throwing rocks because you were too far away for me to punch, you kept running, and we hit you sometimes, but it wasn't enough. I don't know what they did over there in the last 4 months, but ISIS fucking surrendered, so...
Well, the president went over there for Thanksgiving, so...
Imagine the balls on that man right now. He's like, I literally show up to a country and ISIS surrenders.
Yeah, that's probably what he's thinking.
Ugh. That's a way to stroke your own ego on accident.
I do respect that, though.
What?
Him going to Afghanistan for Thanksgiving.
I think things like
It was
that
definitely-
are important.
It's one of those, like, half political stunt, half honorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I'm totally fine with that compared to the other stuff that was similar was I know he wasn't going there to be a tourist.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't showing up to that base in the middle of nowhere as the, battalion commander and demanding he be on the next mission so that he can say he did something.
Yeah.
He went there solely to be with the people that are there. He didn't want to stroke his ego by, I came here, visit y'all, blah blah blah, put me on the next mission. There was no. There was no bullshit like that.
Are presidents even allowed to fight anymore?
I-
Because they were for a while.
There is no way they're allowed to anymore.
I mean,
I don't know what strings you could try and pull, but I doubt it would go through.
Theodore Roosevelt. I mean,
I'm not saying it didn't used to happen. It definitely doesn't happen nowadays. And
I would have loved to see President Obama just, all right, we're going to war. And then just picks up a saw and just
show up on a base, walk up to some guy, pull his pull tab, his armor falls off, pick it up, flip it onto himself, and grab a saw.
And just stone cold face and just go.
That'd have been fucking hilarious.
I would have voted for him.
And I'm not against higher level leadership going out on missions. I'm against them showing up to middle of nowhere bases that people are out on 6 to 9 month deployments, and they show up for one day and demand they go on the next mission just to say that they did something.
It's
there. Because they get killed because of that.
Oh yeah, and it's basically, to put this in civilian terms, it's like if you work at a mechanic shop and an HR representative shows up and then asks, uses his rank, his job. He uses his weight to turn the wrench that you're turning, just so he can put on his resume that he was a mechanic. That's basically what's happening.
Okay, yeah, see, I didn't even think about trying to, like, translate that. That's probably an important translation. It's basically the people, like, showing up to throw their weight around. And I really respect the more administrative leadership who showed up because they had an administrative job to do on this desolate middle-of-nowhere base and didn't try to become a tourist there.
Right.
They went there to do their job. Whether or not they wanted to actually be in the combat or the whatever you call it, the shit, they showed up, they did their job, and they left. Because you can kind of understand the sincerity of their job, or of their want to do their job. When they show up, just do their job, do it well, and then leave, you know they're not trying to... They're not there for the award, they're not there for the ribbon, they just want to do their job because they know what their job is and they want to do it well. I respect the shit out of that.
Yeah.
And also, it's safer. We've had people, I'm not going to go into the specifics, but as I was leaving, I talked to a certain person who, when I got back, or when I was in Kuwait actually, I saw the news article that he was dead. He showed up to a base. I don't want to say he was trying to be a tourist, but showed up to a base, went out on a mission with people that he wasn't normally out on actual missions with, and he didn't really go out on missions prior to this, and that same week he was dead because of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to put this kind of weight on a person, but a lot of people knew this guy. He gave people PTSD. Like, there are people who had to watch him die.
Yeah.
And he put that on them. And that kind of sucks. Like, that's a shitty thing to do. I know, like, oh, he's actually the victim, he died, but you gotta think of the secondary and tertiary consequences.
Tertiary?
That's a word.
Oh, I know it's a word. That was just big for you.
It was a big word. I don't think it's that big of a word. I think it's actually pretty short. Maybe it's because most of the letters in it aren't, like, long. They're tall.
Shut the hell up.
Alright, so next one is Pamela Henderson.
Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris, that's the one, right? Or is it Pamela Harris?
I think it's Kamala.
Kamala? Okay.
I know more about her political ideology than I know about her name.
It's a crazy world we live in, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Democrat.
Yang gang.
Yang gang, yo. Yang gang.
Yang gang.
I
want my $1,000 a month to buy guns.
Telling you, that's the way to go.
Dude, yeah.
Like, people give me shit, and they're like, oh, but no, that's the way to go.
Like, you got, like, okay, boomer, you're getting mad at me for winning $1,000 a month when you're already getting that from Social Security.
I mean, there are people making way more than $1,000 a month on Social Security.
Yeah.
And Social Security is also a shitty way to get your money back from the job that you worked.
Oh, it's all a bad, like, Yang is not a good system. It's a terrible system. It's an awful system.
But it might be better than what we have right now.
I'm saying if we can get $1,000 a month until the next president says that's retarded and gets rid of it,
I'm down for $1,000 a month.
That's,
you know how many guns I can find with that over 4 years?
Yeah.
How much ammo I can stockpile?
Like, I would be unemployed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But I mean, that's enough for me to live off of. I'll find a hole to live in, and I'll just stockpile money.
Yeah, I mean, you could get a fucking... You pay $50-something for a month for a storage unit, put all your stuff in the storage unit, put all your valuables in the storage unit, and everything you buy with that $1,000 a month in the storage unit, and then you just go hit up gun trainers with the 500...
Yeah.
Like, you go to one good training class at least a month.
Yeah, easily.
As long as you buy cheap food and stuff. You might not be in the best of shape, but...
I mean, yeah, taxes would get raised, but taxes are always getting raised because, you know, they want it all.
And it wouldn't be that bad. Yeah. Because if you don't have taxable income, how could they raise... Yeah, like, sure, things you buy will be taxed slightly more, but Fuck it, man. You're not paying income tax on that $1,000
You're not having to work.
or $1,000. Yeah, you don't gotta work. Go have fun. Live your life.
Every American would do that, and then the whole thing would just fall.
Oh, well, that's why I'm so excited. I just want everyone to look at it and, like, one time in all of history, we had a valuable change in politics that showed, holy shit, this system doesn't work.
Wow, communism is bad, guys.
Yeah, because all the, like, oh, yeah, I mean, every time you say, like, communism's bad and you use an example, they, like, pull something out of their ass and it was like, it's either that wasn't real communism or that was due to outside factors or something else. I want someone to be so ideologically driven that they start the quote-unquote perfect communism, whatever the fuck it is, and no one fucks with them on purpose just to see it fall apart so that we can have a valuable example of this is not going to work.
That was pretty much Stalin and Lenin.
Yeah, but everyone will still try and contribute that to some kind of outside factor.
I know.
Oh, the space race killed them.
But even if there was no outside factors fighting against a new communist dictatorship, they'd still find issues.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They're doing mental gymnastics to justify being lazy.
Yeah. Or just shitty. They don't want you to decide your own morality. They want it to be
Their morality.
legalized or law enforced morality.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things I'm not happy with America right now for. Lack of freedom kind of changes the bounds. Are you really a good person if the reasons you do good things is because there's a horrible possible outcome if you don't? Like, I wish that the legal system was more, it was tighter on its laws. It had less laws. And what made you a good person was you choosing to do good things. Or you choosing not to do bad things. It's legal to do these bad things, but you choose not to. That's what makes you a good person. If you threaten somebody, if you hold a gun to someone's head and say, don't do a bad thing or I'll kill you, they're way more likely to not do the bad thing. Are they really a good person? No. That's like coming to South America and killing all the people who refuse to convert to Christianity. Are they really Christians? No, they just had a gun to their head. And if they didn't quote-unquote convert, you kill them. So I think trying to legalize, or trying to enforce your morality with law, to an extent, is bad. There's a certain amount of morality that I think we all share on some base level that is required to be enforced.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for the law against murdering people, everyone would murder people. If it wasn't illegal,
maybe not.
A lot of people would murder people.
Yeah.
Especially in the high-stress situations that we put ourselves in today because of the way we have created this modern world. Everyone is so stressed out and feels so alone. Murder is on everyone's mind. Murder is easy now. Because it's not you personally murdering this person. It's the levels of not natural stress that have forced you to the point where you don't even fucking think about it. You just think the only solution is this horrible thing.
I think you may be talking a little more personally than I would.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the whole Joker movie thing. The more recent Joker movie that came out.
Yeah.
That's kind of a lot of what it was talking about. There's a lot of mental illness, and there's a lot of mental illness caused not curable mental illness, but mental illness that doesn't have to be chronic forever, the entirety of your life. Things that could be fixed simply by more traditional kinds of lifestyles and stuff. But, I mean, they say, like, sitting in traffic is one of the most stressful things, like, possible.
Oh,
you sit in, like, an hour of traffic, you can literally watch, like, your life clock run out. Because the amount of stress it puts on your body. Humans weren't normally exposed to that kind of stress. It's a different kind of stress than seeing a predator in the forest.
Yeah, which I really want someone to do a study on how adrenaline benefits the body.
Oh, dude, I want to see so many adrenaline studies.
Short-term, sporadic adrenaline dumps to make your body move rapidly. Like, the dopamine release of surviving something traumatic. Oh, like, yeah, you're gonna be shit. Like, yeah, you see a tiger out in the woods and you fist fight it and win. Like, that's gonna mess with you for a while. But, like, the dopamine release after finally beating that tiger to death, I can only imagine.
Your body rewards you mentally for doing this thing.
Yeah, and Dave Grossman, Colonel Dave Grossman. I don't agree with the context this was used in, but I don't agree with the context at all. But basically, through his studies, like, I'm paraphrasing. He basically said, like, surviving a deadly encounter will let you have, like, the best sex of your life afterwards. The problem is, well, there's two sides of it. The more liberal side of me says, okay, that was just used in context to, like, make cops think that murdering people is okay.
Totally possible.
Yeah, and, like, it, like, made, cops are like, oh, yeah, well, I want to have some damn good sex after this. I'm gonna kill somebody!
Or I'm gonna purposely place myself in more dangerous situations.
Right. Versus the psychological part of me which says, no, that's a natural response to surviving.
We don't live in a natural world anymore, that's the problem.
Yeah, we don't live in a natural world. But there are mental benefits to being able to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps in a life or death situation.
Yeah.
And drawing the line between being confident after a situation and being arrogant after the situation. That's a big one.
I think that's an important distinction if you look at a study especially like that. Yeah. But one of the things that I want to this is more my weird medical side that I kind of enjoy, looking into science of different things. So I've read up on different studies about adrenaline and how it affects memory and the reasons behind its purpose in affecting memory. It's supposed to be a psychological trainer. Like, adrenaline is supposed to help you not just survive dangerous situations, but it's supposed to imprint images in your mind so that you remember them in dangerous situations in the future. That's why your memory of certain things can be so vivid, and other things could literally, you might not even notice them.
Yeah. Because
your mind is trying to imprint certain images for your memory in the future. One thing that I would like to know about the effects of epinephrine in the body is its ability to help healing rates. So, I have looked for studies, periodically, probably about every 3 to 6 months, I try and look for something similar to this. I would like to see some studies where, adrenaline is normally released in dangerous situations. Dangerous situations normally have injuries involved, whether you survive them or not.
Yeah.
I would like to see if adrenaline, or epinephrine, or what's the other one? Neoneph. There's another one similar to it. It's like its cousin. And the other chemicals like cortisol and different chemicals that are released during stressful situations. I would like to see what their effects are in the healing rates of the human body, because that would be something natural that you can either induce or inject to help people with healing after the bad thing has happened. And I think that's something that's been totally... When people think of adrenaline, they think of the mental effects.
Yeah.
And the physical effects of surviving the immediate situation. No one thinks of the after effects of the physical effects. So, like, what it might do to healing rates. Does it slow? Does it help? Does whatever? That's one of those things that I've been looking for and I can't find anything on. Because I like to find alternative medicines that... Not because I believe they work better, but simply because they're more easily available to people who are trying to self-treat, especially in bad situations where you might not have a doctor on hand or something like that. I think that's an interesting one that I'd love to see a study on.
I will say I absolutely hate epinephrine when it's not, like, I'm sure I would love epinephrine in a life or death situation, but like minor surgery, we're gonna numb this area, but there's a little bit of epinephrine in it, so your heart's just like spazzing out. Yeah, it's horrible. And like it legitimately feels like how you would feel in a life or death situation. It's like a little taste of mortality, I guess. You know what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
Whenever they like numb an area and there's just a little bit of epinephrine and you're like, okay, well this mole I'm getting removed is now a life or death situation because my body's natural response to this specific drug is I only get released when I'm about to die.
Or when I could be about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's very uncomfortable.
That's an interesting one. It just unnecessary triggering of the fight or flight.
Yeah.
And your body or your mind, your conscious mind understands that there is nothing bad going on. So when your body is freaking out, but your mind knows everything's okay around you, it's
jarring,
confusing.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, you're dazed. You're sitting there like trying to find the thing that your body is freaking out about, but you can't find it, so you don't know if you should be stressed or not.
And like when your body releases adrenaline and epinephrine, the first thing that like fingers turn into flippers. You lose motor skills. So you just become, what's the term? Broad motor mechanics?
Fine and coarse.
Fine and coarse. So you automatically lose fine motor skills. Like you're not able to, your hands don't move, or your fingers don't move independently of themselves anymore.
Unless you really concentrate on them.
Right. It's now gross motor movements.
Like, you can punch the shit out of somebody faster than you ever punched the shit out of someone.
Yeah.
On epinephrine.
But try and pick your nose.
Yeah. You might punch yourself like you punched that dude.
Yeah.
Or try and do something, like, try and replace the battery on a watch.
Any fine motor skill, like, just done.
Yeah.
Done. No fine motor skills whatsoever.
I mean, yeah, I've definitely had a lot of, not involuntary epinephrine dumps. I don't know if y'all have ever had something similar to this, but, like, when I used to get sick, I think the stress of being sick would cause epinephrine dumps in me when I was younger, especially. And all of a sudden, you'd get, like, the tunnel vision and everything would get loud, and, like, you're hyper-focused and super aware, and time almost seems to distort. Everything slows down, but everything looks aggressive.
Yeah.
Which is definitely your body trying to interpret the fight or flight response in a calm situation. Everything seems aggressive, but it also seems slow motion-y. That is a very weird thing for your body to process. And trying to do something like move individual fingers to complete a complex task, holy shit. Almost humanly impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you have trained it. Unless you have focused on the exact scenario that you were in. I mean, I used to get it sometimes just like when I was sick and messing around on a computer or laptop. All of a sudden it would kick in, and that exact scenario that I just explained, everything would get loud, tunnel vision, and I feel like I'm 30 miles away from the laptop I'm typing on, and I couldn't type anymore because I couldn't move my fingers properly, and I couldn't see the keys. They looked like they were 30 miles away. It's such a weird thing. Your body is trying to explain to your mind that there is a fight or flight scenario going on, but your mind is trying to force your body to understand that everything around you is safe. And it is, I think jarring is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I said confusing, jarring is definitely better.
Yeah.
Because it flips your whole fucking world upside down.
Yeah. But you know what you could have done? You could have punched the shit out of that computer.
Oh, I could have bloodied my knuckles and not felt it.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Which is an amazing, amazing thing.
Oh.
Thank you, adrenaline.
That is the one thing that epinephrine does better than anything in the world. Temporary pain relief. You will
Temporary pain numbness.
Numbness, not relief, because normally it happens before you feel anything anyway. You won't feel a damn thing for 30 seconds.
Under most circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes...
I have done research, like, if you get stabbed, you feel it. It's not like a gunshot.
It's not?
It's not at all. Everyone that
I feel like it's sharper. It feels like a sharper, less hot pain. So it's a different category entirely of pain.
So, one, because it's more personal, like, there's a couple factors. One being, it's more personal. You can shoot a gun at someone, and they don't know they're shot for fucking days. It's insane. People have been shot in the head, and they go to the doctor for back pain a week later, and they're like, "You have a bullet in your brain." They're like, "Oh, that's why my back hurt. That's why my head was bleeding a little bit earlier."
I thought I just drunkenly hit it on something.
Yeah. No. Stab wounds, like, it's not like that. I think it's because a mixture of it's very personal, and usually you visually see it, and it's sharper.
That's true. Especially with guns, I think that's definitely important in the factor of the adrenaline working. If someone shoots at you, you don't know if they hit you unless you see where they've hit.
Like, your body reacts to trauma before your brain does, whereas when you get stabbed, your brain knows you're traumatized before your body does.
Yeah, like, your brain processed the fact that, like, that fucking knife is about to enter my body before your body knew the knife was about to enter your body.
Right.
So
your body wasn't dumping as much adrenaline as opposed to your body dumping everything from a gunshot and your brain being like, "Why is my side numb?"
That's the funny thing. It's not even like a numbness. It's like
just like a punch. Who just hit me?
Yeah, like you would, if you got shot from like 30 meters, you'd be looking for the guy right next to you. You'd be looking like, who just fucking hit me?
Yeah.
Which is definitely, I mean, that's something that has probably confused the body for a long time, and something that hasn't properly processed the mind.
It's so unnatural too.
Yeah. The majority of, I mean, I don't want to say we're predators, but we are definitely more predatorial. Both our eyes are at the front of our head.
Yeah, we are predators.
And face forward.
We are predators.
Like, we are more predatorial than we are prey. Even though there are certain animals that are better at killing us than we are at killing them.
On a biological standpoint, yes, we've always been able to not always, but we can outsmart them.
Yeah, that's our weapon, is our brain.
Yeah.
But your body is not ready to get attacked from behind.
Nothing in nature punches a hole inside of you at 1,200 feet per second.
Yeah. So your body does the thing that it knows it needs to do and dumps a shit ton of adrenaline.
It's like, and I don't know what that was.
I think that I don't know. I don't want to say numbers and be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure the effect of adrenaline as a painkiller, very short term, but nonetheless it's there. Very short term, it's like 100 times the ability to kill pain versus morphine.
Oh yeah.
It is like, it doesn't matter what just happened to you, if adrenaline was dumped properly and you did not perceive the injury before it happened in that kind of sense,
yeah,
you will feel nothing. You might feel pressure, but you won't feel pain. Pain is numbed very well. I don't know if it's disassociated, because that's an interesting thing medically too. We're getting a little too medical on this one.
We're getting very medical about
this. But dissociatives, very different from painkillers. It might be a pain-killing dissociative. It might mix the two properties, which makes it to the point where not that you feel it, but you're not there. Dissociative is a very weird fucking field. But if it's a dissociative mixed with a painkiller, you are, like, not in your body, so it doesn't matter what is happening to your body, but it's also a painkiller, so you can't feel it. It might be a mix of the two, on top of the get the fuck out of there or kill what is harming you.
Yeah.
And all of those things combined, your body is just so much more focused on surviving than it is anything else.
Yeah.
It is a crazy drug. Don't talk to cops on adrenaline.
Yeah, so what he's referencing there is if you get into a fist fight or like a self-defense situation or a car accident, this is not legal advice. Do not take it as legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. Do not taught to police outside what is necessary. This person did this. This is the evidence of that. I'd love to help you out more, but I want to talk to my lawyer. Because when you have adrenaline in your veins, there's several things that happen. One is memory loss. Or you may not remember this conversation. You may not understand what you're saying.
Memory loss or unimportant memory function.
Right.
You might remember shit that doesn't even fucking matter.
Right.
Because your body's looking for the important stuff, but it doesn't know what it is.
Yeah. Confusion is a big one. You may say something to the cop that isn't the truth or makes sense at all, but they can use it against you in court, saying, oh, well, this person was obviously in a bad mental state when this happened, so they must be at fault, etc., etc. Do your best to point out, oh yeah, this person, like, say a car accident. This person hit me. Those are pieces of my bumper. I would love to help you out more. I'd like to talk to a lawyer because you run the potential of hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Legally.
It is easier to hurt yourself in conversation on... So, like, we just mentioned it. There's some number out there, and it sucks that I can't remember it because it's super important to me and I love the science behind adrenaline. But it's somewhere along the lines of, like, this drug is 100 times better than morphine at doing certain things in your body.
So you're high.
Which is adrenaline. You are high. Why would you talk to cops while you are high?
Yeah.
Like, you are literally on a drug.
Yeah.
Why are you giving information that will be legally used against or for you in court while you are high? That is just not the way to go. Give them the bare minimum and ask for a lawyer. Because then, in 2 days, when you're totally fine, or 1 day, or whenever, you can look back on the situation, determine key important parts, and then communicate with someone who understands the legality of those key important parts to use that information properly. Instead of letting the cop, who might also be hyped up on adrenaline, depending on the scenario, to remember or not remember certain information about what you've told them.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, like, human memory, first-hand witnesses, that is, like, the least useful piece of any information in court at this point.
Yeah.
Because they have scientifically understood it is dangerous, and the chances that you actually saw or actually properly remembered something are very slim.
Yeah, and even, like, say, like, you were in a bank when a bank robbery goes down. And you have two witnesses that, like, are pulled off to the side, but they see the robbery on TV. That kind of stuff influences your memory. They say, oh, well, a male in a yellow t-shirt was seen leaving the scene. And now all of a sudden everyone remembers him in a yellow t-shirt when he was a blue t-shirt.
Or he might have had a yellow t-shirt, but you don't actually remember that he did.
Yeah.
You just remember someone said he had it. And all you can remember is his face. Or all you can remember is the gun he was holding.
Yep.
Or the money bag he was running away with. Or the look on the face of the person he beat to the fucking ground. Your body remembers key things, or your mind remembers key things.
Which is funny.
Some of those key things are not notably important at first.
Which is funny, because, like, I'm going to take this to a gunfighting perspective. When your adrenaline dumps, when a gun's being pointed at you, you focus on the gun, not the person. Which is, there's two reasons why the number one thing to be shot in a gunfight is hands. Reason number one...
What's the closest thing to the gun?
Because, number one, because the gun is... People perceive the gun as the threat, not the person. So they shoot the gun.
Yeah, because we walk by people all the time. We don't walk by people pointing guns at us all the time.
Right.
So the gun really is the threat.
Yeah.
In that scenario. Like...
Yeah, not like...
The person is dangerous,
not in reality.
Obviously.
Not in reality, because...
Oh, yeah. Perceptively. The gun is the danger.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy could totally stab the shit out of you or maybe beat you to death. But the first thing is the fact that he could blow your brains out at 6 feet.
Yeah. The second thing is everyone... The majority of people who have the slightest understanding of firearms hold their firearm center, like in front of their center mass, which is where everyone who's also been trained at least a little bit in firearms aims.
Yeah.
So if you're going to carry a gun, train to do stuff two-handed or one-handed, or with your non-dominant hand, because chances of that, your primary hand going out is very high.
Yeah.
But that's all for that, because that was...
But also, chances of... If you get into a situation where someone pulls a gun on you and you have to pull a gun on them, or someone pulls a knife on you and you have to pull a knife or gun on them, you're gonna get shot or stabbed. Imagine you are already stabbed. Like, this is not legal advice.
Yes and no. I'll respond in a second.
Okay. It's one of those things where, like, you have to realize that if you were going to act aggressively, be ready for them to have already shot you before you have made your full move. Try and minimize the amount of shot or stabbed you will get, but understand that is not a definitive, but it is highly likely in that scenario at this point. So
that comes,
be ready to fight without the use of one of your eyes or part of your hand, or I can't move this arm anymore. You need to be able to fight effectively all the way through with whatever he has already damaged.
And I agree. There's a lot of variables there. First off, go to a reputable force-on-force trainer who actually does different situations and doesn't actually just do a giant paintball match. So you can understand how...
Don't talk shit about the giant paintball match.
Hey, the giant paintball match is a paintball match.
It'd be a great time, though.
Oh, it'd be fun.
What I'm talking about is the argument we've had for the past, 3 months over we should do squad-level tactics with simunition. And he's like, that's just a big paintball match. And I'm like, it doesn't mean it's not fucking awesome.
No, it'd be awesome.
But continue.
Yeah, get reputable force-on-force training that's not a giant paintball match. It's situational. And don't pull your gun unless you have the counterattack. And what I mean by that is criminals are predators and you are prey. During an interaction with a criminal who is pointing a gun or a knife at you, you will have opportunity to counterattack. You have to be mature enough and trained enough to either say the guy asks for your wallet. He puts a gun at me, give me your wallet. I'm probably going to give him my wallet because I don't want to die over money that is made up by the government.
Well, I would say know your line in the sand for that one.
So,
how much money do you have on you? Are you on your way to go buy a $30,000 car? I would kill someone over $30,000. If they pointed a gun at me, my life is worth fighting for that $30,000.
Oof. But that's not the standard though. That's not the norm. That's a very specific situation. I'm just saying,
would you let someone run away with $30,000 of yours?
No.
Okay. What I'm saying is, my life...
I'm talking about the average person.
Oh, yeah. And,
the average
that's what I'm talking
situation.
About. Know what you have in your wallet. Understand that. I totally agree with what you're getting at.
No.
If you've got... I normally don't have more than $100 in my wallet. If I have $100 in my wallet, it's because I recently went to the bank and cashed a check or something.
Yeah.
It's a very strange scenario that I have $100 in my wallet. $100 is not worth dying. I will totally hand my wallet over and then run away.
What I'm saying is keep your wits about you and understand that is this amount of money worth me potentially getting killed over? And then if you decide yes, no, not even money, but the situation begs the question, should I die for this? Because any gunshot can kill you.
Might not be soon.
May not be soon. Maybe tomorrow. You may bleed out tomorrow from it. But use as much logic as you can while having that adrenaline pump through your brain. Yeah, I'm not going to die for what's in my wallet. Oh, they're going to take my military ID and my credit card. Okay, that's fine. I can get a
And
new
in
military
30 seconds when I call the cops, we can also call the army and cancel my military ID and my driver's license and all my credit cards. And
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah. And, like, that's not something I want to get shot and or killed over. But, on the other hand, the same guy pulls a gun on me and my family, that's a different story, because now you're putting my family in danger. But going back to what you were saying earlier, there's a lower probability of you getting shot in a gunfight than there is of you getting stabbed in a knife fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're in a knife fight, you're going to
You're
get stabbed.
going to get stabbed. Like, it's done. You have to accept that you're going to get severely wounded by the knife.
But if you're in a situation that is about to possibly turn into a gunfight, you need to understand the chances are.
You need to understand and properly translate the tactical opportunities in order to not get shot. But you have to like
I think
accept. You have to accept the fact that you might get shot.
Okay, I think I like the way that you're doing it better. Because that's kind of what I was trying to say. I was just saying it improperly.
Yeah.
Kind of like with the whole other part there. Hand your wallet over.
Yeah.
$100 and my fucking IDs. It's not worth a damn thing.
Yeah.
Or it's at least not worth taking a bullet for. I will hand that over because he already has the gun on me.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, have fun with my wallet. I will cancel my cards and everything will be fine.
But, if he has a gun on me and gets distracted by something and turns around for a split second.
Yeah.
And I plug a bullet through his ear hole.
Take your opportunities properly.
Yeah.
But also understand the dangers of different scenarios. If he asks you for your fucking wallet, and before you reach for it, he says, get on the fucking ground.
That's different.
Sorry, I would rather take a fucking bullet
than
be in the scenario where he's going to put a bullet in the back of my head without me being able to even think about it.
Yeah, that's the biggest red flag is if a bad guy ever takes away your mobility, that's when you have to end it. Right there.
Because it's like gun control. If you give away your ability to fight, you're fucked.
Yeah. Because now you have no way to fight back.
You don't know what they're going to do, but you can't risk the fact that he'll plug you in the back of the head after you hand him the wallet just because. I mean, there was a thing going around in Atlanta for a while. Who was I can't remember who I was in the car with. She's probably good. I don't need to say names on this. But I was driving around, and some guy was driving past me in the middle of the night. This was like 2 o'clock. Oh, I know who it was, but I can't say. Someone was driving past me, no lights on. And I went to go flash him. I was like, look at this guy. No lights on his car. And I'm like, I'm going to flash him. And the person said, don't do it. I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes, well, there's kind of a thing in Atlanta right now where gang initiatives are you drive around in a car at night with your lights off. And the first person to flash you have to kill him. That's your initiation. You don't fucking know or at least I didn't. You don't fucking know that's what's fucking going on. How do you know that person isn't in some gang initiative bullshit where they have to kill you? Where if they don't kill you, they'll be fucking killed. That's the weird middle ground, especially in big cities and shit like that. You have no idea what's going on. So if someone takes away, or someone begins to try to take away your ability to fight, that's when you start fighting.
Yep.
That is where it's no longer an option, you fight.
Bank robber forces you to the ground, face down, hands behind your back, hands outstretched like a starfish. You've lost.
Yeah. Or if you do it, you've lost.
And I know that from experience. You've lost. You can't escape from that.
He might have a gun on you, but if you're still standing, you have a better chance than if you're on the fucking ground as a starfish.
Yep.
There are definitely certain fucking points that people don't understand in that sense, where it's like, hey, it's now or never. And then when they're on the ground, they're like, oh shit, it's never. And then all of a sudden, there's a bullet through their head.
Yeah. Oh, wow, you have a gun on you? You're some kind of cop or something?
Yeah, and all of a sudden, well, he's seen our fucking faces. Kill him.
Yeah. This guy has a pocket knife on him. Can't be a hero.
Can't be a hero if you're dead. If I was a bank robber, that's what I'd do.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who could possibly fuck up my bank robbery, I'd kill him. That's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Because everyone else who isn't a danger will stay the fuck still.
Calm as Hindu cows.
Calm as Hindu cows. Yeah. So, that's definitely that's a piece to keep in mind that most people don't think about. Just fight while you have the ability, as they're trying to remove your ability to fight.
And don't second guess yourself. If you're going to commit.
Oh yeah, you have to go all the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
as hard and as fast as you possibly can.
If your life is in danger, you probably don't need you don't need us telling you as hard as you can and as good as you can. If your life is in danger, hopefully everything mentally kicks in the way that your body is made, and you will fight it the way that your body knows to fight it.
Violence of action beats
almost everything.
Like tactical advantages.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, oh yeah, well, it'd be smarter if I just, knelt here and pied this corner, whereas you would have been better off just going in and just violently just shooting everyone who was a threat to you, as fast as you possibly could, as accurately as you could. Violence of action.
That is one of the things the military teaches that I'm glad they teach.
Yeah, because that's true.
Yeah, violence of action is. I mean, we got smoked so many times for that.
For being slow. For thinking.
Not being violent enough.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't fucking care what's going on in your head. There should be nothing going on in your head.
Yeah.
It should be instinctual. You should just be fucking blowing whatever's in front of you away.
No.
Be violent. Because it's horrifying. Violence is horrifying. And it creates at least a delayed response, or it creates retreat.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to fuck a motherfucker up is during retreat. This is a war thing. That is not legal information. Do not shoot someone in the back as they're running away from a scenario.
But
you're probably better off letting them run away, unless they're like a mass shooter or something.
But if they're running away from a situation and they put their gun behind their back and start shooting at you as they're running away, different situation.
Kill them.
Shoot them.
Shoot them. Sorry. Wrong words.
The point is to stop the threat. The point is not to kill anyone. The point is to stop the threat.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
And
my words just don't match my mentality all the time.
Yeah, and the threat can be a lot of things. The threat can be this dude is just driving a truck through France during a rally.
We had that in America. What was that dude?
What
was he driving?
Dude, it was like a Mustang or something.
Was it a Mustang?
I think it was some kind of muscle car.
It was some cool guy car or something or other.
That's the threat.
And he plowed through a bunch of people. There are definitely people in that scenario who would have been justified in shooting him.
Oh, everyone would have been justified for shooting him.
Well, during a certain time frame, yes. Well, I guess he drove away. I don't really remember a lot of what happened in that scenario. But, during the actual dangerous part when all of that happened...
Oh, no.
Everyone on scene who could have shot him would have been justified in shooting him.
Yeah.
Because that was the difference between, I fucking wasn't looking and I hit a pedestrian, and I am purposefully plowing through fucking 32 people.
Yeah.
That is a scenario where... Because then he backed up.
Yeah,
and ran people over in the process of backing up.
You can't.
If someone stopped him before he put that car in reverse, technically, injuries or what is that? It's life and
great bodily harm.
Great bodily harm. Great bodily harm would have been stopped.
Yeah.
So you would have been justified in shooting that dude.
Yep.
That's just the way it goes, I guess.
But
no one in that rally would have had a gun, though. I know what they were rallying for, so.
Which is sad. It doesn't matter what political ideology you have. You should be able to protect yourself.
Guns are not a political ideology.
They're not an ideology.
No. I don't care what your political ideology is or your mentality. If you do not own a gun to take your own personal safety into account, you are retarded.
Yeah.
And if you don't carry the gun that you own, you are also retarded. So that was a bullet fired at conservatives and liberals.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of fucking people who, I keep my gun in my truck, or, I own a fucking 30-06, and that'll save me at home.
No, it won't. Because you don't have the mindset or the training, or
you're at Walmart and your 30-06 is at your house.
Yeah. But
we
talked about this last time, though.
Oh, yeah. We definitely got into that last time. I won't go too deep, though.
But, yeah.
We are at an hour and 5 minutes, though, so this is
wrap it
normally our cap-off point. I think we actually touched the tactical part that we normally like to try and touch at the end. We kind of covered that for the past 20 minutes on accident anyway. So.
Yeah, it happens. We go on tangents.
We'll eventually get a little more...
professional?
I wouldn't say professional. I was going to say...
focused?
I mean, it's not that that's a bad word, but that's not what I was going for.
Linear?
Yes.
Structured.
Structured. That was the word. I knew it started with an S.
That's
what alcohol will do.
Damn drunk. Anyway, guys, it's been fun. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys aren't going to, attack us with pitchforks. I always enjoy doing these podcasts.
Yeah, this is just entertaining at this point.
Yeah, it's like
almost therapeutic.
Yeah, it's just fun. I mean, there's no reason why anyone should listen to this, but
Oh, so I just wanted to actually state this before we go any further with our outro. Tomorrow, we should be right here doing a podcast with, I think, 5 other people. That should be a very interesting one. I don't know. It's a work in progress, so I don't know what names are going by quite yet, at least online and stuff like that. But we should be doing a pretty major podcast with like 5 other people. Well, the people aren't major, but it is our first major podcast with like guests and stuff.
Yeah.
And we really do plan on having guest speakers continuously through here. Not that they're famous people or anything like that quite yet.
No,
but we do plan on having people for you to listen to that aren't me and Levi.
That aren't an echo chamber.
Yeah, and that's what we're going for.
I'll even have people who don't agree with us.
I would love to have people who don't agree with us.
Because that's just going to turn into a shit show of just arguing. That's going to be great.
Then hopefully someone, eventually, me or them, or Levi,
please prove me wrong.
We'll think of things from a different light. And I love the idea behind that.
Like, if you can prove me wrong, thank you.
Thank you so much. But
will it happen? Probably not.
We're planning on doing some guests here in our next couple of podcasts, or within the next couple of podcasts. And we do have a podcast that might not be posted on this channel. I'm not exactly sure how we're doing it or what's going on quite yet. We're supposed to plan that a little bit later. I think early tomorrow we'll know what's kind of going on.
Yep. But
eventually it'll be posted and you'll know what's going on, and I'll either say it here or whatever. You'll know.
But aside from that, guys, it's been good. Stay alert. Stay thinking. Stay questioning. Stay alive.
We will have a way better outro eventually.
Yeah, one day. One day we'll figure something out.
I had a good one. It was something.
Dark side.
No, pray for freedom. Oh, God. No, God damn it. I had a really good outro. Never mind.
All right.
I'll remember it eventually.
All right, guys. We'll come back to you later with a better outro. But
next one.
Hey, you guys, FBI agent.
We're really rooting for you, FBI agent. I'd like to meet you.
We're gonna make you earn your pay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to listen to like 75 of these podcasts before you get anything that's even remotely interesting to whoever is asking you to listen to us.
Yeah, but it's been fun, guys. Y'all have a blessed day. This is the Refounding Fathers signing out.